Yeah, like I said, I was an educator for 35 years, 10 of those in the classroom, and then I moved up into administration. But I had one student in class, and he was what we call a warhorse. He had no interest in education. He had no interest in people above his age. He was an outlaw. I figured he was going to go to prison. I mean, honest, and I had him as an eighth grader. So I thought this kid's destined. And he broke into the school one night, destroyed the school while he was there. And the assistant principal and I were and still are good friends. We started out together, and he and I worked on this kid. And I mean, we worked on him hard, and we were hard on him. And he was just, like I said, he was a wall hoss. He did not want to do anything. And we squared off more than once and dealt with him just as stern as we could. We tried to get him to understand. We understood. We're here for you, bud. But anyway, he went off to high school. Didn't see him again. And decades passed. My wife and I, we love to go dance. We're going to Billy Bob's Dance Hall in Fort Worth. We go there 2 or 3 times a year. And I put my hat on. We go out there. We have a great time. Well, over the years, after I started writing in 1988, I've become friends with a lot of country artists and a lot of writers. Well, I met Mark Chestnut. Bubba Shot the Jukebox is the one everybody knows about him. But I met Mark years and years ago. We got to be fishing buddies a little bit, had a good time. And when he come to town, I'd go see him, and I would just go wherever he was, send a note back, and say, Mark, Rev, I'm here. Sean and I are, can we come back see you? And he always lets us come backstage, and we visit with him before the show and then after too. Well, at Billy Bob's, he sends me a note, says, come on back. And someone brings a note to me, and I go around to the backstage door, and I walk up, and there's this guard standing there, and he's a hoss. He is a monster of a guy. And I held this out, and I said, Mark said we could come by. And he looked at me, the big guy looking down, he crossed his arms. You're not coming in here. And I thought, hey, man, this is the note. He said it should be okay. And again, you're not coming in here. Nope, you're not going to do it. I said, have I made you mad somehow? Is there a problem? And he goes, Mr. Wortham, you're going to have a talk for a second. And I looked at him because my name was not on that note anywhere. And I looked up at him, and I said, I don't know you. And he goes, yeah, you do. He says, I'm Mark. And he told me his last name. He says, and then when he did, dang, oh my God, Mark. And he goes, yeah, it's me. He said, you thought I was going to be in prison, didn't you? I said, yes, I did. And he said, well, I was on the way. He said, but when I was about 16 years old, I got into some serious trouble. Some people helped me out. I learned, they sealed my records. And he said, I'm a lawman. He said, and I can thank you and Mr. Colwell for helping turn me around, because it was you two guys that started to make a difference. I would never have known that. And I never even thought about that. But, that's one of the few times that I've been able to see where the impact of being one of my students changed a kid's life. And that's because he was listening to me. That's the thing that I encourage everybody to do, is to talk to kids and work with them and see if you can help direct them, because we all need it at some point in our lives.
Right. Yep. And I think that's a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing it. I think it really shows that, like, you feel like sometimes you're talking to a wall, but it's not, right? It's still a person there. They may be walling you off, but they're still hearing everything. And that's going to percolate through, at some point. At least you hope, it doesn't always work, but
Nope.
even if it works 1 out of 100, it's worth it.
That's true.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for checking out this clip of Writers Drinking Whiskey. If you'd like to catch the full episode, click the link up here, and please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our members only section. Cheers.